Hey there, it's Coach Jackson, and I'm here with one of my awesome all-star clients, Nader. He crushed the program, lost a ton of body fat, lost some weight, and really got the no pack to six pack dialed in. So I want to welcome him. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jackson. Great to be here.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm in my early 40s, actually turned 44 in February, and I'm bringing that up because it's actually part of the reason why I did the program, and live in the Chicago area. So I'm an executive and been exercising, I'd say, probably for the last 10, 15 years, but not anything like what I've been doing with you.
Got it. So you're in your 40s, you live in the Chicago Midwest area. That's an area that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a Chicago boy, was born and raised there. So that's awesome. And you're a work professional. So you were working out most of your life. How did you end up in a position where you wanted to, join a coaching program like this? What happened in your life? Where did you get to where you were like physically, mentally, emotionally, hey, I need to make a change?
Well, I think it all started definitely when I got the tonal. So that happened in September, right after COVID hit. I was looking for exercise machinery just because I didn't want to go to the gym or couldn't even go to the gym. So I got the tonal, ordered that in May, didn't get it until September, but it was well worth the wait. And then I got introduced to you through the programs there. And basically, once I started doing that and realizing that there's some progress being made here, I started saying, okay, maybe a six pack actually is something that I potentially could get, even though I was in my 40s. At the time, I really thought it was impossible, but so then I looked up your program and got in touch with you, and I think that's how it all started.
Awesome. I love to hear that. Saying, I'm in my 40s. I thought maybe this could be impossible, but who knows? I'll give it a shot. Obviously, we'll get to the results, so I don't want to, give a spoiler. But if you're speaking to me, it's obviously good stuff. But you found me on Tonal. That's awesome. What were some of your favorite programs? Just curious.
Yeah, so I think the first one was Go Big or Go Home. I think that was one of the first ones that I did, and it really kicked my ass, to be honest. And then there are just a number. Basically, once I got into the groove with you, I was looking for pretty much any program that you did. So I did that, and then I did one with Tony Horton, which was good, just for a little variety. But yeah, I was looking for gaining muscle, so it was really a few coaches that could do that for me.
Oh, that's great. I hear that a lot with Go Big, Go Home. My whole goal with that was to take a gym experience, something that, a really hardcore workout that I might do with one of my in-person clients before in gyms, and really replicate that on the tonal. And I think I did that pretty well. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but I get a lot of good feedback on that one. So I'm glad you liked it. So you did Go Big, Go Home, a couple other programs. You got excited. You were intrigued. Did you recognize that, like, hey, I'm doing the workouts and stuff. Did you make any changes to the diet, or did you only make those changes when you worked with me?
Really, the diet came with you. So that's always been my problem. I'll go hit the gym, I'll do the weight, I'll do whatever I need to do. But when it comes to the discipline, it's really not even the discipline. It's really knowing what to do when it comes to the diet. That's always been a challenge. So this presented a really great opportunity where I could kind of mix those two things and hopefully see results.
So you're doing the workouts, not actually changing anything with the diet, but you still saw some results, right?
I was seeing some gains, and I was definitely always felt like I was in shape, and people were commenting, on my chest, my arms, all that stuff. But it wasn't until really starting this program that I realized that was nowhere near where I could be. Just because I always had that layer of fat on my abdomen. I just, my eating habits were pretty bad. But then, like, I wasn't really getting the benefit. I was kind of gaining mass here and there, but it wasn't anywhere what it could be until I started doing that diet.
Sure. Was there one particular like moment, one particular thing that triggered you to say, I need coaching and I need to get help? Or was it just a slow progression where you're like, hey, let me reach out and see what's up?
I think it was, part of being at home during COVID is just you really start to do a lot more self-reflection and just, things are more available to you to spend time on. So I was like, this is a time when I actually could commit to something. Because typically in my job, I travel quite a bit. So doing a diet with all that travel would have been difficult. But I'm at home. I'm the one that's doing the meals. I'm doing everything. So if I was ever going to try to do something different, this would be a good time to do it. So I think that's really what probably led me to just commit at this time.
After you contacted me, we talked, we got you into the program. Like, did you think for sure I'm going to get the six pack at that point once we started working together? Or was it still like, this is kind of the impossible dream and I'm going to see what happens, but I'm not sure?
Yeah, I figured I'd lose a little weight. I honestly, the whole six pack thing was just something I thought was going to be very elusive, and it seemed kind of like a pipe dream. Like I said, early 40s, you just think, okay, that ship has sailed. So I wasn't really thinking it was going to happen, to be honest. I thought I'd get a little bit more definition, but I did not think that I would see those lines.
So we worked together. I mean, you got the result, to be honest, before the 16 weeks was up, but the 16-week program you enrolled in, it was incredible transformation. What were the final results?
So I think I lost around 17 pounds and tried to maintain that now, which always went against everything I thought I should be doing because, like I said, I used to always be about gaining weight. So I lost 17 pounds, but I think I look a lot better. And then I got down to 8-9% body fat, which was unrealistic. I mean, it's what I was probably in high school. So it's quite an accomplishment.
You got the full six pack, no pack to six pack, incredible. I mean, lines. And for you, honestly, better than some of my other clients, you have great genetic abs. Like your abs, the lines are just so perfect. So you look really phenomenal with your six pack, which is awesome. It's funny because I hear that so many times from people where they think, oh, I need to bulk or gain mass. And when you came in, the first thing I said was, okay, we need to do a little bit of a body recomp here. We need to cut the body fat down, and then we can start to focus more on mass. So it's probably a little bit of the opposite of what you thought you needed. But to your point, you also look bigger and better now, right?
Absolutely. And I think the most dramatic change actually has been in my face, which is something that surprised me because I guess I had a fat face before and I didn't realize it. But like everyone I see, they're like, oh my God, you lost a lot of weight. And that's before they, not that I take my shirt off in front of people, but like before they even know anything about me, working out differently or anything. But they just immediately comment on that. So, but honestly, it's not even about what I look like. That hasn't been kind of the goal here. It's just I feel completely different, which has really been, I think, the unexpected benefit in all this.
Really? Tell me about that.
So I at that age you kind of go through this like you're going through a midlife crisis of sorts, and you're kind of thinking, okay, it's all downhill from here, and this just gave me a new lease on life. I just feel younger. My metabolism feels stronger and, faster than I say. It's similar to how it was again in my 20s. Not that I'm going to go and eat anything again, but like, I feel like I could and probably would burn it off. And I just have this energy that I never had before. And yeah, just emotionally, I feel, better about myself, which for me is the most valuable part of all this.
Wow, that's incredible. So how has that, I guess, impacted other areas of your life, whether it's job or career or like finances, relationships?
Yeah, well, married with kids. So when I'm happy, that they're happy because I'm just more pleasant to be around at home. So that's always good. And you know, it's important to set these examples for your children, because even though my kids are young, they're 9 and 5, but they see their dad working out and they see how important diet and fitness and all that stuff is to him. So they mimic pretty much anything I do, anything, anyways, good and bad. So when they see these good things, then they start taking those habits and realizing that they're things that they should be focusing on and that they should value. So for me, that's been really good. And it's never again about the way we should look, but just taking care of your body, investing in yourself, and making sure that you put your health above everything else.
Wow, that's so awesome. That really strikes home for me and gets me kind of emotional. My client Ryan, who had a pretty incredible transformation, also a tonal guy, said something similar about his kids. And for me, being 5 years old, watching my dad work out, wanting to be big and strong like him, and kind of following in his footsteps and as an example, it's so incredible because what you're doing is so important. I think so I think more people need to really realize and recognize what they're doing. You're setting this example for your kids. They're going to grow up. They're going to have these better habits. They're going to do that for their kids. Like, you're impacting generations of people to come. And when you impact somebody's health and fitness like this, that adds to all these other areas in your life, to your point, to confidence, to this, to that. And not only that, but they're going to live a long, healthy, active life, potentially much more disease free. Like, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how excited that gets me, because that's exactly why I do this. And yes, the six pack is awesome, and it gets the eyes, and it gets people to turn their head. But your point about health, fitness, and being a role model, so much bigger.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my son, I think, probably has like 2% body fat, so he doesn't really need to work out at all. But like, I see him like, getting on the tonal, and I'm always worried about him breaking it, but like getting him into programs there, and then he wants to get on the Peloton. It's great. I love that he's doing that right now, because when he's in high school and college and so forth, when this stuff will make a big difference in his self-confidence and how he looks and all that, he'll have a head start, and that's what I want. So.
Wow, that is freaking amazing. I just want to recognize you, and first say how proud I am of you, of the results you got, the effort, everything that you did, because you did crush it. But to set that example for your kids and to want to do this for such a bigger, more important reason, I think is really commendable to you, and an example of just the quality of person that you are. So thank you so much for all the hard work, for crushing it, and for setting an example like that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about, like, now that you're here, what's next for you? Is it adding more muscle on? Is it just maintaining? Like, what do you want to do from here?
So you impressed me so much in the first phase that I signed up for another round with you. And for me now, um, one, it's about making sure that these habits stick. So, I feel like if you do something for a certain period of time, then it becomes a habit. And then if you keep doing it, it becomes, a forever habit. So um, I'm now back into the groove where I'm exercising on a very consistent basis. And then most importantly, the diet. So the diet now is second nature to me. I don't really have to even go weigh things anymore. I just kind of know what my portions need to be, what I can eat, can't eat, all that, which has been really, really great. And I don't feel like I'm limiting myself at all. I feel satiated, I feel happy, and all those things. But for me now, it's really about gaining a little more muscle, and just maintaining. And just maintaining the emotional well-being, the health, all those good things that you helped me get.
That's really the goal of the program, right? Is to give you the habits, the skills, the systems, everything that you need to do this on your own. So you don't have to obviously rely on me, although it is awesome working with you, and I do obviously love it. So tell me, you mentioned you don't feel like you're limiting yourself. Can you expand upon that a little bit? Because so many people think if they do a program like this, all they can eat is chicken and broccoli for the rest of their life. And I like to tell people, I mean, sure, chicken and broccoli is a great meal, and it's sometimes a lot of people like it, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing you could eat forever. And it's not like you can't ever have a drink or have another dessert for the rest of your life.
Right. I think, and it's because honestly, coaches like you and just this whole fitness movement that's happening, there's just so many more options now than there ever were probably years ago. I think I remember back in the day when I would see people in high school who were on the wrestling team, football team, and all they would ever eat are like all these hard-boiled eggs and chicken breasts and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's never the life I want. But now, like, honestly, I eat all that stuff, but then if you just even look at like the keto diet, there's just so many options. Like, there's so much low carb stuff out there. I remember one of the things I did in the early part of your program is I made keto brownies, where I was using almond flour and sugar substitute, all the stuff that all on your approved list, I'm pretty sure. But it was all really good stuff, and I felt like these actually taste better than the real thing. So there are just so many options out there. And then you also, when you start seeing the gains and the improvements, one thing outweighs the other. So back in the day when sitting with like pack of Oreos and a glass of milk was the best thing on earth. For me now, honestly, one of the best things on earth is just, seeing that shirts fit better and not feeling self-conscious about things that I did before. So you kind of just replace, your priorities completely shift, and you start thinking about things completely differently.
I love that. And I think that emphasizes something that we probably talked about on our first phone call before you got enrolled, was the identity shift that happens throughout the program, the mindset, the identity, because you're going to stay consistent with who you believe that you are and who you think you are and like what that lifestyle is. And you've really shifted that. Yes, you used to work out before, but we increased the intensity. We got you on obviously a little bit more of a regimented diet. And to your point, it's not restrictive. You have options, and the benefits that you're seeing are worth it. And this is now just who you are. I mean, am I right?
Exactly right. Yeah, this is if I'm not doing this on a certain day or whatnot, I just don't feel like myself. I feel horrible and I just can't wait to get back to it. So yeah, you've created a monster here.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me in one of the posts. You said something like, "You created a monster. I don't think I'll ever wear a shirt again." So, if somebody's out there, if they're interested in the program or thinking about joining up with me, like, what would you say to somebody out there?
So typically, if you're thinking about making a change, you've probably tried 100 different things, whether it be a diet here or just a personal trainer or whatnot. And you've probably been disappointed a number of times. Like, I honestly can say with absolutely no hesitation that this program works, that the results are attainable, that you don't have to be a certain profile of person in order to see the results. That I actually connected with some people who are other clients of yours just through the tonal group on Facebook, who were in different shape than I was and now look exactly the same. And it's just like remarkable that just a lot of people are able to see results here. So you're going to spend the time and money elsewhere, but you're not going to get what you are really looking for. And here, I feel like you will.
Awesome. Well, before we get off, just want to acknowledge you one more time. Thanks again for your effort, for everything that you did, the hard work. I mean, I say this so many times to people. I can show you the way. I can give you the path, the resources, and the guidance, and point you in the direction. But you still have to go running down the way, and you still have to put in the effort and the intensity and bring it. And you did that. So acknowledge you for that, for being such an awesome role model and such a great guy. And I could not ask for a better client. So thank you so much. You crushed it, and I'm so freaking proud of you.
Well, thank you, Jackson. I just also have to say, like, when you have this kind of interaction and you have someone who you kind of look up to, who you feel is genuine and really cares about what you're doing and your progress and so forth, you start feeling like you really don't want to let them down. So that's kind of the relationship I feel like we've formed, where honestly, every time I look at a certain food I'm not supposed to eat, I'm like, Jackson probably wouldn't approve of this. So it's like you feel this accountability, and it's because I can tell that you're a genuine person who really cares about your clients, and that's why I felt that, and probably that's why I committed as much as I did.
Wow, I do appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I like to say I'm changing the world one six pack at a time. So
Right.
thank you again. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I can't say thank you enough.
Thank you.